Yeah, guys, I thought, when you play an exhibition game, two things you want to do. You want to win, and you want to play everybody. And we accomplished both. Now, we have 4 guys that are hurt. I wish they weren't hurt, where they could have played a little bit today. But I thought, one thing that we struggled with last year was shooting the basketball. And I thought, one of the goals was to bring guys in that can put the ball in the basket. And I thought we shot the ball really well today. I thought we shared the ball. I think when you get into these situations where it becomes a little bit of a blowout, if you don't have good guys and if you don't have unselfish players, it's the time where you're going to try to get yours. Become unselfish and, you start dribbling, just shooting. I thought our guys did a really good job of sharing the basketball, making an extra pass. And I thought Buddy played well, Kaden, they all played well. I thought we, after the first 3 or 4 minutes, I thought we settled down. Our jitters got out of our bodies a little bit, and I thought we played. Now it's Alfred, it's not Bradley, but I thought for the first time, I thought our guys played together, and it was the first impressions are everything. This first time that our student body, our community saw us play, and so it was important for us to show them what type of team we have. So hopefully this is a beginning. We got a long way to go. A lot of things to fix, and we have 3 days to do it. But it was a good first step, and something that we can build on.
Coach, I want to ask about the defense tonight. A ton of turnovers, a lot of points off those turnovers. It just seemed like there were limbs everywhere. How happy are you with that?
Yeah, I thought, I was disappointed. They made 6 threes in the first half. We did a much better job in the second half. Now, number 4 hit a couple, and they hit a couple, at the end of the shot clock. But I thought our defense on the ball was decent. I thought our ball screen defense has to be a little bit better. I thought our rotations weren't as good as they need to be. But I thought, we got a lot of points, 38 points off of turnovers, 52 points in the paint. And we should, we're an Atlantic 10 team playing against a Division III team, so we should physically dominate them. But at the same time, last year we were only up by 8 at halftime, and these guys, I think 5 of them started last year against us. So we made some strides, but we got a long way to go.
Can you tell me about Andrew's energy off the bench?
Yeah, Andrew, he's got to get in better shape. He can play like 3 minutes and then he goes from 100 miles an hour to about 25. I might be able to, run faster than he does. But he's really long. He's really athletic. He plays with I always say, he plays with a joy. He's always out there having fun. Sometimes he has too much fun. But he can block shots. He can run. He's got really good bounce. And, he puts on 20 pounds, he's going to be a really good player. He's just touched the surface of how good he can be. And he's got to get in better shape, get, physically, mentally tougher. But he's got all the ingredients.
How about Kaden Charles? Coming over from a Division II school. And
yeah, he was like,
we need to see him against some Division I competition, but he really shined tonight.
Yeah, Kaden is a blue collar, does all the intangibles. He's a guy that, every coach would love to have. He's not looking for his. He's been really well coached in high school and in the Division II school that he was at last year. Knows when to back cut. He's physically tough. He can defend. He can rebound. He didn't shoot the ball great, but, he's a guy that's in the gym all the time. I come get here at 7 o'clock in the morning. He's there shooting. So he's really he's got a great work ethic, and he's a tough physical kid.
Coach, with a bunch of new guys, how do you assess your team's chemistry tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was good. They're still learning, and we're not going to be playing nearly the basketball I hope that we're going to be playing at the end of the year. Guys are still trying to learn to play with one another. They're still trying to figure out our system, what we can do, what we can't do. And each guy's, trying to figure out the strengths and weaknesses of their teammates. But like I said earlier in the opening statement, I thought we shared the ball. And it looks like our guys enjoy playing with each other. Now, that's great when you win by, 59. But now it's, when you get challenged and adversity hits, then that's when you really got to figure out if you have good guys and good chemistry.
the last 2 seasons you had a big carryover from the season before. Chad Benning, then Noel last year. You bring in Frank and Andrew obviously this year. How have you assessed them picking up your system and how they fit?
Yeah, well, Frank is picking it up. He's a fifth year guy, so he's picking it up faster than Andrew and Andrew and Achille and Ilya and John. They had visa problems, so they couldn't get over here in the summertime. So they're behind in terms of we worked for 7 weeks, running offense and all that stuff. So they're behind. But at the same time, they're making strides, and they're not there yet. And that's the hope is we get better as the season goes along, and they get better. Because I'm a firm believer: the better the player, the better the team. And the more players that we have, the better we're going to be.
Coach, how does your preparation and reflection of the tape and practices compare for a scrimmage today compared to a regular season game?
We prepare the same way. We take the exhibition game as seriously as a regular game. Because our guys, you only have so many opportunities to put that uniform on and play in front of our crowd. So we prepare for this game just like we're going to prepare for Bradley. We do a scouting report. We go through this stuff. We take it seriously.
What a start, guys. Obviously, massive margin of victory, but individually, really great performances from you two. What were you guys seeing out there, and how did you feel in your first experience in the Rally Center in front of fans?
Yeah, it was great. Just being obviously first time, just being in front of the fans and just getting out and playing. It was great, and we're gonna look back at the film tomorrow and see what we can improve on. There's so much that we can still do, individually and collectively. So, but it was a great start. The effort was there, and that's where we need to be.
Right. I felt like the atmosphere was amazing. Everybody supported as the fans. They supported us, and for the basketball team, I felt like we worked real hard on the court, just playing defense and making good shots and making the right decisions. And everybody swung the ball. Nobody was selfish. Everybody was selfless. So that was really good.
Buddy, 24 points tonight. How much confidence were you playing with?
I try to have confidence every game. Every game I play, I try to have the most confidence because of how much hard work I took off the court and on the court with my position coach while just watching film, getting shots before practice and after practice. So confidence is key.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you saw from Andrew off the bench tonight as a freshman, the energy that he brought right away?
Andrew, he's gonna be tough for us. He's gonna have a huge impact for us coming off the bench, helping us out. So he's gonna be blocking shots. He's gonna have a lot of energy coming off the bench for sure. But he amazed me today, to be honest with you. He's gonna have a great year this upcoming season.
Defense tonight was just stellar. A lot of turnovers, a lot of points off turnovers. Kaden, you had 6 defensive rebounds, 10 rebounds in total, 21 points, 10-point double-double. What were you guys seeing defensively, and how much is that a trademark of this team this year?
Yeah, it's everything. Schmidt, if ever watch a practice, man, all he says is defense is the constant, and that's going to be our identity this year. The reality is we're not going to score 100 points each game. So with that, defensive intensity has to be there. That's scouting, that's watching film, being in the right positions, and playing team defense, not just individual. So for us, I think we did a good job executing that, and that's got to be the standard for us going forward.
Kaden, 6 assists tonight, just all around great job. Just kind of, how were you moving the ball and just trying to, what were you looking for to get your teammates open looks?
I mean, it's easy. Like the guy next to me, Buddy, you pass it to him, it's easy, free assist, So him, Frank, if you watch Frank, probably the best in shape big I've probably seen in a while. Just running down the floor, that's easy baskets. All I have to do is just go and push it, and the way Schmidt runs his offense, we have certain keys that get guys open, so it's nothing special I did, just, running the offense and seeing what I need to get.
You guys are celebrating even down to the last minute there with Jack and Brock getting some buckets there. How close has this team grown over the course of this preseason?
What you think? Yeah, I think our team been growing a lot. To be honest with you, we all been connected on and off the court. We have a good bond. We all be having fun, just making jokes, just hanging out with each other. So I feel like just the connection is what what makes a good team and a great team just on and off the court. Because it's not really about being on the court; it's really about being off the court, having the right connections, being there for each other, and just being there for your brothers. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just piggybacking off of what he said, the best teams are the closest off the court. Because those are the teams that can hold each other accountable. Pick each other up. Whenever we need. So, got Buddy. I mean, he annoys me all the time, but that's my. All of them do. But those are my brothers, and we got a long season. We're gonna need each other. So, that close knit, togetherness is what we need. So.
Anything else?
Just one last one. Just like, how was the student section like for you guys? Just like the energy pumping through the Riley Center. Like, what did that mean to you guys?
Yeah, it was crazy. Just coming from a D2. I mean, it's just not the same. Like the energy is crazy. So
I like the student section for sure. Because at my old school, we didn't have as much student section. People come to the game, so this was amazing to see all the fans and all the student atmosphere and being out there just supporting us. So that was great for us, for real, for real.